Hi, tea sippers. Take a sip. Stay a while. Now, I know I'm not the only one that watches reality TV. Get to it. Clock the reality. Hi, tea sippers. Welcome to an all-new episode of Clock the Reality. This is your host, Mark Midwestern Honey, and you know I bring it to you fresh every single time. But most importantly, we have to get to the docket. There's several things on the list, starting with the Real Housewives of New York City, baby. Yes, ma'am. Bravo decided to do a little premiere or promo the other day where they want to say this is the new cast. Get into this. RHONY has decided to bring back just 3 of the housewives from the previous couple seasons, meaning that we are saying goodbye to Uba, Brynn, I believe her name, I forgot her name, child. I forgot her name. That's just how that go. Raquel, that's the girl's name. Clock that T. And they also got rid of Jenna. So, with 4 housewives out, we have 3 new housewives in. And that includes, drumroll, Haley Glassman, Erica Hammond, and Daisy Toya. I don't know any of these ladies. No shade. But I'm excited to see new blood in the Big Apple. And I'm also excited to see another familiar face make an appearance, which is Miss Carol Radziwill. Anyway, y'all know who Carol is, child. Carol from the old RHONY is back, meaning we're getting her, and all the fans have been wanting a familiar face to be on the show. And I'm glad we get to see it in Miss Girl, because it could have been anybody random. I'm glad they didn't scrape up Ramona or Bethany. And I know Ramona's not even living there anymore, but we don't need that at all. We don't need any diabolical mega chaos on the show. This is New York City, baby. Let's bring it to you fresh. So, I wanted to go ahead and announce the cast, and now let's dive into the Real Housewives of Potomac. Girl, that reunion. Karen came in to clear. She did her job. Take a listen.
Wendy, you were also upset at last year's reunion because Karen didn't thank you in that video.
I want to thank those who truly touched my heart during this whole process. I want to thank Gizelle, my girl Kay, and Andy Cohen. You came through.
I think it's interesting that she didn't thank Wendy. That's not my friend. You can give your flowers to whomever you choose, but I would be not being truthful to myself if I didn't say, oh, I feel a sting from that.
I think that it's important to deal in reality even though we're on a show. Let's be honest. You and I became distant because I feel betrayed by you. I just felt like you betrayed me when you went over to Stacey.
Karen said that Wendy was self-absorbed, wasn't a girl's girl, and she would never be my friend.
I have never said that to you. Do you believe this, Wendy?
You gonna have to sign out for a minute.
Oh, should we go get changed?
You want to get
Sure, let's go get changed.
The betrayal was from you. I remember very specifically when we sat down to pick out dining wear for my 40th birthday party, and you referenced my mother as a witch.
When your back was against the wall and people were attacking your mother, calling her a witch, I had your back. My question to you is, why weren't you unwavering in support of me?
When people are dragging you about this whole DUI thing, I have held you down till today. So for you to specifically bring up my mother thing and then use the W word towards my mom, I would expect what you did from the other ladies. I would have expected that from you.
Child. Is Jamal coming? Because I don't know what that gave and what it was supposed to give, but I don't like this drama between Wendy and Karen. It's not an eat up for me. It's not an eat up. I feel like both of those ladies had a hard time, obviously on some criminal shit allegedly. Not for Karen, because Karen actually did the crime. I'm not saying that Wendy didn't do the crime. I'm just saying right now it's allegedly, boo. And y'all better remember that. But I will say this. That dispute between the two of them about like who went to Stacey, all that other stuff, that's dried up for me. That's over with. Y'all can go ahead and make up and push through this. You're supposed to be a sisterhood, right? Then let's clock into the sisterhood in Potomac and let's get it together. Because I can't have y'all girls up here fighting over something very, very minuscule like that, maybe. Not this. I will say so far, I want the theme of these ladies to be supporting each other, but most importantly, accountability and calling each other out. I'm happy that Karen was able to do that. I'm happy that there's opportunity for everybody to come in. We saw Monique come in with her little receipt book in part 2 of the reunion, and then come in and stick around, have a few more exchanges with the dolls, with Karen, when she came and arrived. It was cute. It was cute. Notice Gizelle didn't have a little segment. No one was there. Production was like, oh, well, yes. We forgot about Gizelle. And I don't know if that's telling for her future on the show. But, honey, if you gave nothing, you gave nothing. And you just have to sit there and give nothing. And hopefully you could offer us something. Like she tried to do at the reunion. She said, well, my daughter's at AKA. Have all these other businesses. No, I will not be doing a Kinsbis line. No, meow. Okay, Gizelle. Okay. Gizelle just came to the reunion so she could argue with Angel about having her up in this house miles and hours away, riding in a dark scale for her life. That's what Gizelle is here. To clear the girls. You know? Which is fine. Do your role. Be messy with Ashley. I don't know how I feel about Darby coming back on the scene. Darby. Ashley, what's the tea? I feel like Ashley's just here because she's just one of the characters and production likes her, which is fine. But here's the thing. Girl, what are you going to offer next season? If it's going to be you fall in love with old boy, fall in love with old boy because you had him come on the show and embarrass the fuck out of him. Girl, I would not pack it up with you. Not me. Ashley, give us something different because you already know, baby. The fans want to see something and it's not this. I like the evolution of Ashley and how she is now as a mother and how she started. But girl, bring Katie back so you can come and read the girl. Go ahead and bring Katie and Robin back if y'all want to go to the old Potomac dynamic. Now, if you want to stick to the new Potomac dynamic, I'm okay with where we are. So, let me tell you who I want to be in the cast next season. I will go ahead and, have Kay and Ashley fight for their life to get their flute back, child, because nothing was there. I feel like nobody likes Jassy, but she's still offering something to the show in terms of conflict, and we like to see it. Yes, ma'am. So go ahead and have Jassy stay as a friend. Bring back Vivian. Remember Vivian? Bring her back as a friend. Do not bring Robin back. Do not come. Do not come back. Because those comments that Robin made about K. Michelle are still fresh in my mind, honey. It's a no for me on Robin. But, okay, let me finish my cast. I would definitely bring back Tia and Angel because I think they're a perfect newbies to the show. I think they're fresh energy. I think Tia has a dynamic with her family that could be showcased. This whole accent feud that she has with Stacey is cute. Bring back Angel because I believe there's more that she needs to show us. I don't like this brush that Gizelle was trying to paint about the girl. I'll get into that in a little bit. I would go ahead and slide in Karen and Monique. Keep Wendy amidst her alleged crimes. I want to see how that all pans out. And go ahead and keep it pushing. Gizelle, obviously, she's coming back and so is Stacey. So I just keep these girls right here. If you got to bring in a newbie, bring in a newbie. But I don't really think that Potomac needs a newbie right now. I think they have a fresh dynamic. I think you can work with it and you can pull out the stops here, honey. But I will say, I'm not really against Angel coming back and having like a full-on, reemergence of a housewife that she didn't get a chance to bring in this first part of her running the show. I think she has more to show us. And I also think there's room for more of the girls to lighten up and not act like there haven't been like other kinds of run-ins with accommodations. Take a listen.
I'm still gainfully employed there. Sold more than one house, by the way, Jazzy.
Good, now you can take care of your hubby.
It was great. It was better than your $150,000.
Good, now you can take care of your hubby.
Okay, I want to talk about Colorado. Angel, the women gave you a lot of blowback for having them in separate houses.
Yes. And now in hindsight, I can see why. That is not the way that group trips are done in this group.
A lot of people love that you put Ashley and Gizelle in a little room together.
And this is you guys' room. Wow. At the time, I felt like they deserved it. I said, why not get a little get back?
Boo, tomato, tomato.
Okay.
Giselle, you attempted to take over the trip when the no water issues persisted.
Absolutely.
Did anyone think she was overstepping on Angel?
I did.
Of course you would, Kay.
Of course, yeah, I did. Giselle,
But you weren't there. I think maybe should redirect
Let me just
the
say
question to anybody who was
Listen.
in the house with no water.
I've also been on
You had
other
water.
group trips. There's been other mishaps. Nice restaurant.
Okay. What? Name me one.
I mold in my room. And, Dion, I had to move my room in the middle of the night, and I still went to another room that I could not breathe in.
I think no water trumps it.
I'm very sorry that everybody
I'm
had
sorry
to
you
go
went
through
through
that.
that.
But that's what we didn't get. You just said you were sorry we went through that. We didn't get that at the time.
I also wasn't on the text thread, and the only reason that I knew what happened is because I called Jazzy to see how you ladies were doing.
But as a host, you should have been checking on us about everything.
I felt that the priority was to try and find a solve first so that I could get you guys to a better location.
How'd y'all get so lost?
Someone dropped me a pin who was actually at the location in real time. And so we went up to that location, nothing there.
No pizza on the side of the road either.
We've never ended a season in a gas station.
Yeah, we're on the side of the road, which I don't do. I mean, at a food truck, which I don't do.
Drinking alcohol from the gas station.
This is a gas station margarita. This woman that says she owns Denver. She's Miss Denver.
Well, number one, I didn't say I own it. I am sitting here and don't deserve this flack because I've taken responsibility for everything that's gone wrong on this trip. Upon reflection, I definitely would have done things differently.
Okay. Well,
Gizelle, if you'll leave that girl alone. First of all, okay, the trip went away. It's her first season. Why would y'all even give her a trip to host on her first season? It's a setup. You know? And she's still learning the group. So I'm going to give Angel some grace over that. I think Angel fucked up in regards to the accommodations as well as many of these other ladies do. They put Stacy and who else? Kay in a room at one time. And there is mode in the room. Gizelle, get real. And stop acting like you're holier than thou. I see a lot of jealousy amongst this cast. And I'm not going to keep beating around the bush. I'm going to call it what it is. Did Angel deliver? No. Does she deserve a second season? Absolutely. I think every newbie deserves a second season, depending on how it goes. Because I think you should have a season to mess up, see if you fit in, and then know where you do fit in, and then come back and have a reemergence. You live and you learn. So what I will say is that I do want Angel back. I'm not defending Angel. I'm not saying that Angel did everything right, but you have to also know this is the Housewives. And I think part of what Angel's problem is, Angel is similar to a lot of black people that don't get showcased it properly, especially when it comes to intelligence, how we speak, wealth, being that girl. I got to see some of that. I don't think the ladies liked the fact that she was giving that because they tried to create the narrative around everything else. But clearly she's a package. She's on the show, child. She gave more to the show than Kay did. And she's Kay's friend, child. Gizelle, be quiet and leave Angel on. That's what I'm going to say about that. So don't let Angel host no more trips. And you could just go on for the ride next season. And what I will say is, Kay, you didn't buck up enough for me. This is your friend. And I understand fighting our own battles and stuff, but girl, you up here trying to dictate when Angel can speak, blah, 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 chin check her, this, that, girl, bye. Okay, it's a ride. I'm glad you brought your picture frame to the reunion, but this was not it. I'm hoping what the ladies can learn from this also is that they need to be more accommodating to group shifts and personalities changes amongst the group in terms of everyone who's at the table, because I feel like it's a different situation, child, if you come in here and oh, Angel's just mean to everyone. She's just awful. She's a bully. She talks shit. Girl wasn't even doing any of that. That's probably a very nice lady. I'm going to just keep it 100. And Gizelle, you are mean woman. And you know you are, girl. Own it. Say you wanted more. And you hijacked the trip, which is fine. Child, no water, whatever. I would do the same. But we're not about to come into this reunion and play in her face like she's the devil. She's not. Okay? Now, I don't know how Angel's going to vibe with Karen or with the other ladies. Monique had a rough start with Angel in terms of saying things about her and Bobby's dynamic compared to hers. Girl, it's not comparison. Don't play with nobody. She just got here. What's tea? Okay? And if Bobby is kind of cold to y'all, it's because of how y'all treated his wife. So, like I said, the Potomac reunion barely ate. But I will say, if we pack this up moving forward, I want to keep Tia. Jassy didn't live up to par. I don't think any of the ladies like her. Actually, I'm going to say this, because I said who my cast should be earlier. Go ahead and bring all the ladies back. All these ladies, right now. All these current ladies. And just see what happens. Just see what happens. If people show up on some bullshit, See what happens, child. I could do without Darby. But I'm in a position of, sometimes we just need to see what happens in a new group. Especially a new black group. Okay? Because there could be complete different shifts here that we might not even consider. We already know there's going to be a folding out of what's happening with Wendy. Child, we also know what's going to be happening with Stacy, because I don't know if her and Timo are going to remarry. I didn't hear anything on the docket about that. I'm tuned in for the next season, and y'all better get y'all teacups ready, because I will definitely be spilling. Alright, bitch, shifting gears. We gotta move right along. Make sure y'all refill y'all teacups and do what y'all have to do, because we have to hop over to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You know I bring it to you fresh with these ladies every time, because I love the Beverly Hills girls. But what I will say, some storylines are a little bit weird for me, and some storylines are a little bit even weirder. Take a listen.
I think one of my biggest fears has always been, what if, like, I lost my source of income, or lost my job. I mean, I'm not becoming a deadbeat. You know, you'll never see me lazy. Right. But what if I couldn't do that?
Okay. Well, look, the thing is that, like, I love you for you. I think you provide more to me than just financial security. If those other things stop, now we got a problem. You know?
Child, I love me some bows, but hell no. Hell no. If I went on a date with my man, fiance at that, and he said, what if I just, I can't work, I can't bring in money? Are you, basically ask the question right. Are you asking, are you with me just for the money, or are you asking me, okay, if I lose my job, what's tea? First of all, I don't even want to hear that from nobody. If I'm dating you, and we're engaged, oh, it's already figured out, baby. I don't give a fuck. Bows. I love love too, baby. And I love that you love love. But I'm going to keep it 100. As a viewer, it's not looking good for him to ask that question. I don't give a fuck. So here's the thing. Bows, if he tries to run game and says shit, and you find out you're doing most of the planning, he's not contributing, that's your life, maybe she could clear it up for the fans later on. But, like, I'm not feeling all that. Like, and the look in the daughter's face after he asked that, she was like, huh? Aren't you, like, an entrepreneur? Don't you have your own money? That's what it gave me. Bows. I'm telling you, the housewife show is a housewife show. If you meet a man and he coming on here, he making you happy, y'all get married on the show, I'm all for that. I love love too, especially black love. But girl, let's keep it a buck. He can't answer you that question no more. Keely, don't answer that no more. Don't do that again. Because it's giving, okay, so I asked you that on camera, and now here's our situation. No, don't do that. That's already too many doors open. You got the fans up here like saying, Bows, run all over TikTok. I don't think you should run. I think there needs to be a private conversation between you and your man. Here's the thing. If you make more money than your man, okay. If any partner makes more money than the other partner, who cares? It's just a matter of stability. As a grown person, you need to have your stuff together. And I'm with what the fans are thinking. Like, Bows, just keep one eye open. We love you as fans, so we're already going to be extra specific and critical about any man that's coming into the Beverly Hills ladies' lives. Anybody. And I'm going to save the smoke on Keely, because Miss Erica, I don't know what's tea on this. I haven't seen her man, have you? Only thing I heard was that he's very, very MAGA, and we don't do MAGA. Not on the Clock the Reali-Tea podcast. So if you're listening, thank you. But if you're MAGA, hang it up. I will say that I hope I start to see a lot more positivity when it comes to love on the show, because everything feels very dark in terms of, like, love. Like, obviously we have Rachel going through her divorce with her man. That's very public. We have Kyle, who still is dealing with the shit with Mauricio, and you already know how I feel about Kyle and Mo. We have Dorit, who's going through a divorce. We have Erica, who has a new man. Sutton, divorced already. She can't find a man, child. It's just a lot happening in Diamond City. And I will say, let's keep the trajectory going, because I do feel like there's fresh life being breathed into the show, which I love. Next season, I need to see more drama. I need to see more drama. I need to see more cuss-outs, more storming off. Kyle, please don't come back here with all them tears and, like, all this, oh my gosh, like, Dorit and this girl, y'all not friends. Stop being I need to let the housewives know this. If you're not friends with somebody, stop being their friend. If you're just co-workers, meet them with co-worker energy. And if anybody wants to bring up what's going on between the two of you, I would be like, what's going on between the two of you with you want so-and-so? That's how I would run that. Because it's dried up. Dorit has a new friend group in amongst the cast. Stick to your friend group, and then Kyle, you stay over there with Amanda. Because y'all know Amanda, Miss Scamanda, is still going to be ready to scrape us up some drama. You know she already trying to come for Bose. You know she already trying to come for Bose. And I don't play about people coming for Bose. The only people coming for Bose is the Bose fans. The Day One Bose girls is what I call us. Take a listen, because Amanda must have lost her damn mind.
The feathers are ruffled, and I'm here to talk about it. By the way, this is about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, so if you're not interested, go ahead and move along. All right. When it was announced that I was joining the show, people had a lot of opinions. Some were like, why would you risk your storied corporate reputation to go on TV and fight with women? And I was like, wait, hold on, is that what we're doing? Because I don't think so. The truth of the matter is that this time of life is so complicated. It comes with its own drama, okay? Women in their 40s and 50s are dealing with raising children, aging parents, careers that maybe need a pivot or maybe need reinvention, long relationships that maybe are coming to an end or need another spark, and a myriad of things, including hormones that are out of whack, okay? So the question that has come up is whether or not disagreement needs conflict. And my opinion is that disagreement is conflict. It is inherently conflict, because when you have two different opinions, they are conflicting opinions. And it's not whether or not conflict is necessary, because it is, we're all human, but whether or not you know how to solve it. That is the question at hand. So this all started with this particular conversation that we had at the table. Here, watch this.
My body interpreted it that evening as a physiological threat. Girl, why are you shaking your head at that?
I mean, your expectations of not having confrontation in the way that you don't like is unrealistic.
That's true.
So you need to understand that and also accept that.
But can there be disagreements without conflict?
No. You disagree, you sit, you speak, you have the intention to really hear each other, and there's not a huge conflict.
Girl, what are you talking about?
No.
How? Is this human experience? What fantasy world is Amanda living in? Because in this reality, we've got to have real conversations that push edges, that address conflict, that make us uncomfortable. Okay, so what do you think? Can friends have disagreements that don't have conflict?
Child, what was Scamanda talking about? Exactly. I feel like Bose has a point when it comes to this. Like, you have to expect conflict. That doesn't mean you have to deal with the conflict. If you're choosing not to deal with it, you can choose how you respond to it. If you choose not to deal with it, then that's your choice. But girl, you're getting paid to deal with it. With these girls. And what Bose is saying is that there can't be conflict happening without disagreement. So, Amanda, where are you from? So, do people just not argue where you're from? I want to hear about this quote. Because this quote completely has your brain readjusting and doing tumbles and not speaking facts and acting a fool, girl. Because clearly being a part of a cult is something that's very traumatizing. And I could just see that based on how she interacts with the girls. With the nickname that I bestowed to her as Scamanda, I would assume that you would try everything in your power to navigate that. You know? Get ahead of the curve. Pull ahead of the bro. Listen. To answer Bose's question, the answer, I agree with Erica. And you know how Erica been making me feel all season. I agree with Erica. Hang it up, Amanda, when it comes to acting like you could come into this group and they're supposed to be just polite, cute little tea sip conversations and, oh, can I have a sugar cube? Amanda. Scamanda. If that's how we're going to be a villain, fine. Let's play in that direction. But I'm living for this little drama between Bose and Amanda. It's only heating up for here because Amanda also decided she wanted to go on Entertainment Tonight and sit down with one of their staff members and say some kind of insult about Bose. I think she said something along the lines of, well, you know, maybe she saw my life and wanted to do something like this and nothing took off for her and she just lives under a man. Girl. She lives under a man. She wants your life, your job because of what you do. First of all, your job is a fraud. The job's fraudulent. Second of all, did you not check the books and see what her net worth was? compared to what your net worth is, bitch. Don't do that. Especially to another black woman, you need to save that energy for the other girls who are giving it to you. Bose is not the one. And saying that a grown black woman who has her own storyline going on is jealous of you is crazy. So, Scamanda, you've already entered your villain era. You might as well continue, baby. And that's what I said last time about Miss Scamanda. Miss I bought Kyle's house. Miss Stir the Pot. Miss Say What I Want to Say Without Any Repercussions. Miss, oh yeah, I'm on a housewife show. Miss Her. Miss Scamanda. Miss Villain. That's you, baby. You're her. I'm Team Bose when it comes to the dispute between the both of you. But I need to see more being gave. If this is what's going to happen, we're going to go into interviews and talk shit about the girlies. Because you're getting the Jassy edit, babe. I don't think any of the girls like you. Which I kind of live. I think if you're going to come into Housewives, and I've said this before about Scamanda, and you're going to do, you got to lean into it. But I'm Team Bose. Girl, first of all, she cleared your ass at that table when she said, Amanda, that's not reality. Because it's not reality. This is a reality show. So if you already come in being fake with the girls in that scene, I just can't imagine how it's going to progress from there. Y'all ladies need to save all that energy because Amanda clearly needs to be scolded and she needs to be red for filth, baby. And I hope she's been practicing in the mirror because those flat reads in these interviews are not working. Anywho, we know who the villain is. But y'all need to go ahead and listen to Dr. Eugene talk about Toya because he's getting sick of the girl saying his wife is a problem. Take a listen.
If you're going to do right is right, then there was some wrong on that part too. Mm-hmm. Any comments from the peanut gallery?
Oh, Eugene ain't letting it go.
Thing I want to say though, man, we are strong women, man. I think Heavenly could hold her own. I think any of our wives could hold their own because they're strong women.
Time out on that. I'm going to say one last thing. I'm not going to say nothing else about it. Y'all can just continue. It was said yesterday that we wanted Toya to be in charge to see it fair.
Okay.
Who said that? Who said what said?
Hold on. Let me just say one thing.
Y'all tell me who said it.
This whole finger pointing stuff is a waste of time. The bottom line is this. Either we're going to do the event and we're going to all pitch in and going to help out, or we're not. So that's it.
He's staying silent on behaviors that I know their family would not like. I know it. I'm not going to mention nobody's name, but it was said, and it's wrong.
And I appreciate that.
But when people show you who they are, you have to believe them. I think that's a problem.
Listen, I don't know what's going on, but Dr. Eugene has had it with the double standards in Atlanta, honey, especially with the Married to Medicine folk. He's like, I know my wife is extra, but Heavenly is extra as fuck. So I know, Damon, you're not over here talking about Toya. No shade. I agree. And I think that Toya knows who she is, and it's good to have self-awareness. I think every single season, I haven't seen Toya not be Toya. As irritating as the fans might find Toya, she's been Toya from the beginning. Same thing as Heavenly. Heavenly could get crazy, but we're not going to have double standards when it comes to the wives. And Dr. Eugene clocked it. He's like, okay, first of all, if there's a problem, you can talk to me. Another thing. This supporting Heavenly for Congress thing. First of all, Dr. Damon was very open about how he was like, listen, that's not something that I would want her to do, but if that's what she wants to do, I support her because she's my wife. Okay, cool. That was not a good response. Okay? In this political climate, either you support what she's doing or you don't full force, period. How about that? In this political climate, being medical professionals and being black, come on, and cut it out, Dr. Damon. I want Dr. Eugene to continue to have his foot on their neck. For the rest of the show is called Married to Medicine, and y'all might see them show up a certain type of way. And I usually don't defend Toya and Eugene, but this season, y'all are on some weirdo stuff, like between Simone doing what she's doing, irritating me all season, to Dr. Jackie just being completely out of place. Hang it up. I think Dr. Eugene and Toya would do great to anchor a new era of the show. That's what I think. I think it's time. I think Dr. Damon is like too conservative for the show. I think Heavenly is all out of place. I think where the cards are dealt, the cards are dealt. And if it's time to move on, it's time to move on. Recast Married to Medicine. And I'm not going to say it again. I'm actually going to continue to say it until y'all do it. So that's the tea on that. Moving right along, tea sippers. I hope you all have been checking out the House of Villains Season 3. It is so good. They already dropped 3 episodes on Peacock. It stars Tiffany Pollard, New York honey, who has been clearing the girls per usual. We have Plain Jane, Drita, old girl from Selling Sunset. It's giving. We got Paul. I forgot Paul's last name, child. But obviously, Jeff McHale, Joel McHale, John, whatever his name is, came back to host. There's no Monica narrating, so that was a bummer. But I will say everything's progressing very nicely, especially when Miss Plain Jane got on the scene. She is reading the girls down. Take a listen.
I should have known better than to trust a low-budget Drake impersonator. Your upper body is way bigger than your fucking legs. You've been skipping leg day, bitch. You look like a fucking refrigerator on stilts. And I will ride you pathetic cock to your grave!
Baby, a refrigerator on stilts? Now that's how you read the world. He up here trying to set all in her face. She went to confess to him and said, hey, like, you know, I usually don't get along with somebody masculine like you, and like, I just wanted to let you know, like, these are my, you know, Plain trying to play the game. Y'all know how she trying to do. He said, go ahead and put her up there, baby. Plain said, first of all, you look like shit. You smell like shit. You're shit. I'm Plain Jane. I probably make more money than you. That's what she gave me. It's such a good show. I love when the villains get put up on the chopping block because then they have to read the girls down. And that's what it's giving me. And that's what this drag queen always gives, in my opinion. I feel like she's like one of those girls that you can compete with. But also she's one of those girls who you don't try because you know she got a slick mouth. So if you haven't seen the House of Villains, you should definitely check it out. I want to say thank y'all for listening to another episode of Clock to Reali-Tea with Mark Midwestern, honey. That's me. I bring it to you fresh every week. This queer black Midwesterner from Wisconsin always gets deep into this tea, and I cannot wait to keep it coming. Thank you all for supporting me on this journey and for listening to my podcast, because there's plenty more tea where that came from. Take care.